Have you ever felt like no matter how busy or connected you are, something deep down just feels wrong, like you're drifting through life instead of really living it? You might have labeled that feeling as anxiety. Maybe a doctor told you it was depression and gave you something to numb it. You take pills in the morning, another at night, and soon the discomfort fades. Not because it's gone, but because you've been taught to ignore it. But what if your suffering isn't some error to fix? What if it's a message trying to reach you? Psychologist Carl Jung believed that what we call mental illness often isn't a disorder, but a response, a signal that something in your life no longer serves you, that your soul is trying to wake you up. Maybe you're stuck living a version of life that doesn't fit you, a job you dread, relationships that leave you drained, goals that were never really yours. And underneath it all, your true self is suffocating. But instead of learning to listen to that inner voice, we're trained to silence it, to keep it together, to follow the rules, to blend in. So you keep going, quietly suffering, while the world praises how productive you are. But Jung saw healing differently. He said it begins by facing, not avoiding your pain. Because symptoms are messages, and when we mask them, we miss what they're trying to say. He once said, "Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering." That means the pain you're trying to escape might be the very thing you need to finally change your life. This isn't a message for people who want easy solutions. It's for those tired of pretending, who know they're fading, but still believe something better is possible. The change begins the moment you stop running and start listening to yourself, to the pain, to what your life is trying to show you. If you're feeling numb, it might not be because something's wrong with you. It might be because you are missing from your own life. So you tell your doctor, "I'm not sleeping. I'm anxious. Something's off." He listens for a few minutes, maybe types some notes, and gives you a label, anxiety, then a prescription. And just like that, your deep personal struggle is reduced to a chemical issue, a diagnosis, a quick fix. But here's the truth. That kind of treatment doesn't care about your soul. It cares about keeping you functional. Because the system needs you working, spending, and surviving. Pills help you cope with the unbearable. That's why they're so common. But Jung saw this as a trap. He believed most emotional struggles come from a disconnect between the life you're living and the life you should be living. When you ignore what truly matters to you, your values, your intuition, your purpose, your soul starts to rebel. And it speaks through anxiety, depression, burnout. We're trained to mute those warnings, to get back to normal as fast as possible. But what if normal is the problem? What if normal is the job you hate, the empty routines, the superficial goals? What if the anxiety is actually your soul saying, "This life isn't mine"? And when that inner truth is ignored too long, your body gets louder. But the system is always ready, with more pills, more distractions, more ways to keep you quiet. Eventually, you stop feeling much of anything. No joy, no pain, just numbness. Jung warned that medicating away symptoms without understanding their source creates only the illusion of healing. Outwardly, you might seem okay. Inwardly, you're still lost. And over time, that internal divide becomes too painful to bear. The soul always collects its debt, whether through collapse, emptiness, or emotional breakdowns. This isn't just about you. It's about the culture we live in. A society that fears suffering because it no longer understands its purpose. Jung believed pain had meaning. It wasn't a flaw. It was the start of a journey, the path to becoming your true self. But today, discomfort is labeled as dysfunction. And by avoiding pain, we also avoid transformation. So ask yourself, how many people are being medicated instead of understood? How many lives are stuck in cycles of survival, never beginning their true path? To find answers, we have to look deeper. not just at ourselves, but at the world we live in. Why are so many emotionally unwell in a world full of comfort and technology? Jung had a simple answer. It's cultural. It's structural. We live in a world obsessed with how things look, but not how they feel, where efficiency is rewarded and the soul is ignored. From a young age, we're given a script. Study hard, get a safe job, buy things, smile for the camera. But no one teaches us to ask, what actually makes life meaningful for me? We've been trained to seek identity in things outside of us, job titles, status, likes, approval. But Jung warned, that's a trap. Because when your sense of self depends on external validation, you're always at risk of losing it. Worse, you grow disconnected from your inner truth. And that's where the emptiness begins. You meet expectations, you check all the boxes, but something still feels off. It feels like you're living someone else's life. That feeling isn't weakness. It's a sign you've lost touch with your instincts, your values, yourself. And the system prefers it that way, because people who are disconnected are easy to control. They question less, spend more, and do what they're told. And when they break down, they're given meds, never the truth. Jung believed real healing requires facing the system that hurt you, questioning your beliefs, roles, and the life you were pressured to live. It's hard, it hurts, but it's the only way out. That process has a name: individuation. Individuation means shedding everything that isn't you, letting go of roles, expectations, and illusions, until all that remains is your truth. It's not a quick fix. It's a deep, messy, beautiful transformation. It's not about becoming better, it's about becoming whole. And that requires confronting what Jung called the shadow, the parts of yourself you hide, your anger, your shame, your desires. Jung said, "Those who look outside dream, those who look inside awaken." The shadow, when ignored, runs your life without you realizing it. But when faced and embraced, it becomes a source of strength. Only when you stop fighting yourself can you live a life that's real. This journey isn't easy, but it's meaningful, and meaning is what we're missing. Why do so many people feel empty despite having it all? Because they're living without purpose. They're following routines that don't matter to them, maintaining lives they didn't choose. Jung observed that true healing happens not when you make more money or take more pills, but when you find a why, a reason to live that comes from within. Because once you know why, you can endure almost anything. And without it, even the best life feels hollow. This epidemic of emptiness isn't about laziness or weakness. It's about a lack of direction, a lack of connection to what really matters. The truth is, many people are living lives that betray who they really are. They picked careers that clash with their values, stayed in relationships that drained them, settled into routines that slowly erase them. Their bodies feel it. Their minds collapse. Their souls shrink. The answer isn't more serotonin or dopamine. It's purpose. It's identity. And this is where Jung's teachings matter most. Not to help you function, but to help you live. Authentically. Deeply. On your terms. That journey starts inside, in the unconscious, because that's where the real you has been waiting. The unconscious isn't just trauma and memory. It's a vast inner world holding everything you've denied, ignored, or forgotten. And if you don't explore it, it runs your life from the shadows. Jung said, "What you do not bring to consciousness appears in your life as fate." That bad luck you keep having. It's a pattern you haven't faced, that constant feeling of being stuck. It's your soul demanding attention. The unconscious is a mirror. It shows you who you are, not who you pretend to be. It's uncomfortable, but it's also the key to freedom. The more you understand yourself, the more you reclaim your power. You can begin this work through dreams, art, silence, reflection, therapy, anything that helps you connect to that deeper part of you. Because what's buried in your unconscious isn't just pain, it's potential. And once you face it, everything changes. You stop being a hostage to your past. You become a conscious creator of your future. So now the real question is, what's stopping you? Most people know the truth, but they're afraid of change, of letting go, of facing the unknown. But in the end, you have a choice. Keep living on autopilot, or wake up. There is no middle ground.